Ryan was on an Australian reality TV show. It was one of the biggest in Australia.
It is the biggest, yeah.
The biggest. So we've chosen not to mention it just for our own purposes here, because we do want to keep the spotlight on you. But what we're going to do, we're going to delve into, what that experience is like. But furthermore, like, you kind of, how do I say this politely? You basically,
We're unbreakable, mate. We don't need politeness.
But you basically got abused on national television for entertainment.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You got yelled at, you got screamed at, you got falsely accused, so people could be entertained.
Yeah. And what it comes down to is that type of program as such is extremely popular because it gives everyone the one topic that they think they can speak on that's like universal across the board, right? And that is relationships, right? So any normal relationship would not make good TV, like you'd be just sitting there going like, you're watching the footy tonight or whatever. No. Yeah. So what they do is they will put you with a partner as such and you're living together. And like you're sort of emulating a very, very fast-paced relationship. So you're kind of like ejected into this space with this other person, and you slowly find out more and more each other, but also at a pace where people, like the producers, are asking you questions constantly, like, how do you feel about your relationship today, at this minute, right this very second? You're like, oh, I don't know, like, or if there's a plot line that's developing, then they're encouraged to sort of flesh that out. So people are saying like, oh, it's scripted, but it's really not.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like if you try and be yourself 100% in there and it doesn't make for good entertainment, then they will kind of prod you in a different direction.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're getting they're like a puppet master for these people.
Yeah. You do feel on strings at some point. You really do. You really do.
There's a TV show that goes behind the scenes of reality TV. I think it's called Unreal. Did you ever watch that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so they basically delve into the relationship between these producers and the contestants, and I know that it's like this across all reality TV, where they'll deprive you of sleep, food, they'll ply you with alcohol, and they'll get you to the point where you're like putty in their hands. Is that right? Is that what they do?
Well, you know what? Like there is a very heavy emphasis on duty of care. Right, but at the same
is there really?
There's a massive emphasis on it, right?
Really?
But at the same time, they want you to be sort of in an emotional frying pan. They want you sort of dancing from one thing to the next. Because if you're too calm, if you're too collected, if you're responding like with a lot of time to think,
right,
then it doesn't make for good entertainment.
But it's really controlled.
But yeah, definitely. So you're living in this apartment, which is, it's great, like it's 5-star or whatever, but you've got like a scheduled gym time. You can't leave the apartment block without them knowing about it. So there's a bit of sort of a prison energy going on there.